So he's working for free with DOGE. He's kind of put a lot of his life on hold. And you sued Twitter a number of years ago. You just made him pay you $10 million?
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Well,
right.
I sued from long before he had it.
Yeah.
And I mean, they really did a number on me, you know. And I sued, and they had to pay. They paid $10 million settlement.
You're okay with that?
I mean, I left it up to the lawyers and you know the team running Twitter. So I said, you guys do what you think is the right. It makes sense.
I think it's fine.
I think it's a very low. I was looking to get much more money than that.
So you gave him a discount when the lawsuit.
He got a big discount. I don't think he even knows about it.
He's become one of your. If you read and believe the media, he's become one of your best friends. He's working for free for you.
Well, I love the president. I just want to be clear about that.
You don't need to take the media's word for it that those two have become best friends. They clearly have. I mean, they're doing an interview together. Elon Musk is going to say he loves President Trump and he believes he's a good man. They're definitely best friends. They're closer than Trump and Vance are, that's for sure.
I don't care about that.
I know. I love the president.
You love the president.
I think President Trump is a good man, and he's, you know.
It's nice the way you said that. You know, there's something nice about it.
It really is. You know, because I mean, the president's been so unfairly attacked in the media. It's really outrageous. And I've at this point spent a lot of time with the president, and not once have I seen him do something that was mean or cruel or wrong. Not once.
You know, I've known him.
What about his gutting of the administrative state, which is getting people killed, and his deregulation of the airline industry, the FAA, which is causing plane crashes? I mean, maybe it's not mean, maybe it's not cruel. It's certainly not wise. You didn't mention that.
For 30 years.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anybody take as much as he's taken.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this, and I'm like, how do you deal with it?
Did I have a choice?
Well, you would say that to me. I'm like, what am I going to do? Worry about it? And, you know, and then culminating in 2 assassination attempts, which resulted in your endorsement.
Well, I was going to do it anyway, but that was
it.
Precipitating event. Yeah.
That speeded it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The day of the assassination.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It sped it up, but I was going to do it anyway.
Mr. President, with your indulgence, I'm convinced that people only know a little bit about Elon. I don't think they know everything about Elon, because as I studied and prepared for this interview, I learned a lot about you that I didn't know. I think people will think about Tesla. Democrats are demonizing you and trying to make the country hate you. I just want people to understand you a little bit better, and the person that you've gotten to know and have now put a lot of trust in.
Yeah.
And, you know, just let's go over a little bit of your bio, starting with PayPal and how you became involved in Tesla and SpaceX and Neuralink and all these.
Well, I mean, you know, I think the way to think of me is like I'm a technologist, and I try to make technologies that improve the world and make life better.
Your shirt.
Yeah, and that's why I like my T-shirt says tech support, because I'm here to provide the president with technology support.
President Trump laughing, that's a rare sight. Tim Walz made this point on the campaign trail. Trump does not laugh a lot, but I guess his best friend here and his real vice president, Elon Musk, can make him laugh. Huh.
And now that may seem like, well, is that a silly thing? But actually, it's a very important thing, because the president will make these executive orders, which are very sensible and good for the country, but then they don't get implemented. You know, so if you take
which executive orders have been sensible so far, and which have been good for the country?
For example, all the funding for the migrant hotels. The president issued an executive order. Hey, we need to stop taking taxpayer money and paying for luxury hotels for illegal immigrants.
That's not happening. That's not something that happens. You're lying.
Makes no sense. Like, obviously, people do not want their tax dollars going to fund high-end hotels for illegals, and yet they were still doing that, even as late as last week. And so, you know, we went in there and we're like, hey, this is in violation of the presidential executive order. It needs to stop. So what we're doing here is one of the biggest functions of the DOGE team is just making sure that the presidential executive orders are actually carried out. And this is, I just want to point out, this is a very important thing, because the president is the elected representative of the people. So he's representing the will of the people. And if the bureaucracy is fighting the will of the people and preventing the president from implementing what the people want, then what we live in is a bureaucracy and not a democracy.
Yeah.
He left out something crucial there, and it's that these bureaucracies, as he puts it, the administrative agencies are created by Congress, and Congress is democratically elected by the American people. So actually going after agencies is anti-democratic. The American people voted for Congress. Congress passed bills that established these agencies. Agencies, going after them is going after the will of the people too.
You're both aware, you have to be keenly aware, that the media and the punditry class, not that, I think you've proven they have no power anymore because they threw everything they had at you and they didn't win. And that was, the New York Times, Washington Post, 3 networks, every late night comedy show, 2 cable channels. They threw everything, lawfare, weaponization.
Sure.
Oh, poor victim Trump. Oh, boo-hoo. And I mean, part of the media's current powerlessness is their own making. The media chose to be this way. They're capitulating to Trump. So it's not totally that Trump beat them into submission. They made a choice to be weak, to settle with him, to capitulate, and it's pretty embarrassing.
And now I see they want you two to start, they want a divorce. They want you two to start hating each other. And they try, President Elon Musk, for example. You do know that they're doing that to you.
Oh, I see it all the time. They tried it, then they stopped. That wasn't. They have many different things of hatred. Actually, Elon called me. He said, they're trying to drive us apart. I said, absolutely. They said, we have breaking news. Donald Trump has ceded control of the presidency to Elon Musk. President Musk will be attending a cabinet meeting tonight at 8 o'clock. And I say, It's just so obvious. They're so bad at it. I used to think they were good at it. They're actually bad at it, because if they were good at it, I'd never be president. Because I think nobody in history has ever gotten more bad publicity than me. I could do the greatest things. I get 98% bad publicity. I could do, outside of you and a few of your very good friends, it's like the craziest thing. But you know what I have learned, Elon? The people are smart. They get it.
Yeah, they do, actually.
They get it. They really see what's happening.
Yes.
And at the end of this interview, what I would like is I want people to know the relationship and know more about you. What is the relationship, Mr. President?
Well, I respect him. I've always respected him. I never knew that he was right on certain things, and I'm usually pretty good at this stuff. He did Starlink. He did things.
He's pretty good at this stuff. Why did he have to fire so many people in his previous administration if he's so good at this stuff? If he's got such a radar for detecting people's correctness on certain things as he would view it.
It was so advanced, and nobody knew what the hell they were. I can tell you in North Carolina, they had no communication. They were wiped out. Those people were, they had rivers in between. Land that never saw water, all of a sudden there was a river and a vicious, like rapids. People were dying all over. They had no communication. They said, Elon Musk? They didn't really know I knew him. I said, yeah. He said, could you get Starlink? It's like the first time I ever heard of it. I said, what's Starlink? A communication system. That's unbelievable.
I have it.
Yeah. And he said, I called him and I said, listen, they really need it. And he got like thousands of units of this communication. And it saved a lot of lives. He got it immediately, and you can't get it. I mean, you have to wait a long time to get it. But he got it to him immediately, and I said, that's pretty amazing, and I didn't even know he had it. We watched the rocket ships, and we watched Tesla. I think, something that had an effect on me was when I saw...
Okay, so I think it's a good point to wrap up. Trump claimed that he has not ceded the presidency to Elon Musk, and while that's nominally true, who could forget that press conference where Trump was seated down looking totally powerless and Elon Musk was talking to the press? Really? Have we ever had something like this? I don't think we have. And we haven't had an interview between, for example, President Biden and George Soros together, where George Soros says, I think the president's a good man. I like the president. Because the right wing would lose their minds if that happened. So this interview just shows how much of a lower standard Republicans are held to than Democrats. They lied their butts off, and Sean Hannity barely challenged them. He barely challenged them. Actually, he didn't challenge them, He just pointed out, the media is saying, but I don't know if I agree with the media. It's like, well, first of all, dude, you are the media. Second of all, the media has gone soft on Trump. So really, stop playing the victim on their behalf. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the More the Merrier, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.